Brilliance Audio.
Anatomy of a Meet-Cute by Addie Woolridge. Performed by Jeanette Illidge.
If there is a doctor or a nurse on board, will you please ring the call button?
The soothing voice of the flight attendant glided across Sam's consciousness, jolting her out of her early flight stupor. Pushing her sleep mask to the top of her head, she sat upright in her chair, stretching to her full height so she could look around the plane. No one else was ringing the call button. Shit. Taking a deep breath, she raised a shaky hand and pressed the dreaded button above her seat. Nervous energy coursed through her as she tried to recall what her professors and any doctor she had ever encountered said about medical emergencies and aviation. She'd been warned that this could happen to her one day. Sam had just thought she'd have a lot more actual doctoring under her belt when it did.
"Ma'am, are you a medical professional?"
The flight attendant asked, his voice low and calm, as if someone weren't somewhere on the plane experiencing a trauma. "I'm an ob-gyn. Will that work?" The flight attendant's flinch was almost imperceptible.
"I think it'll have to. Would you come with me, please?"
Sam tried not to let the fear creeping through her skin make its way to her face as she mumbled apologies to her seatmates, both of whom smiled at her in the vaguely uninterested but encouraging way that only a plane full of Los Angelinos making their way to the freezing wasteland that was San Francisco could. This was probably an average Tuesday to the Hollywood set. Snatching her sleep mask off her head, she looked at the flight attendant, who began to walk down the aisle. "Can you tell me anything about the individual?"
"We have a gentleman in first class wearing dark sunglasses who started behaving strangely just after departure. He keeps trying to take off his clothes, saying he is melting, then saying he needs help. We're about 20 minutes to San Francisco. The captain has already called ahead, so medical attention will be waiting for him at the gate. We just need to make sure we can get him there in one piece."
"Right," Sam said, taking a deep breath. What she really wanted to say was, "Oh, shit." The flight attendant's description wasn't much for her to go on, but it would have to be enough, since she'd decided to take her Hippocratic oath seriously. "Excuse me," a passenger said, stopping the flight attendant as they neared the front of the plane. The attendant motioned for Sam to continue as he leaned in to listen to the passenger's request. Pushing aside the thin curtain that separated the economy cabin from first class, Sam spotted the man almost immediately. Even as he wrestled with his jacket, it was impossible not to notice how good-looking he was. He was probably 4 years older than her, his fine face twisted as he fussed with a zipper, the tawny color of his East Asian features slightly flushed from exertion, the muscles in his sculpted shoulders flexing as he shook his arm free from one sleeve. Pursing her lips, Sam reminded herself that this was someone in need. Ogling was wasting valuable seconds that might save his life. Filling her lungs with air, Sam bent down next to the man, gently setting a hand on his arm. Twisting around in his seat, the man snatched a pair of designer headphones off his head and lifted his Wayfarer sunglasses to look down at her. "Can I help you?" Sam fought the urge to squirm and reminded herself that the flight attendants had put out this call because the individual in need was acting strangely. "Hi, I'm just here to check on you. The flight attendants thought you may need some medical attention." "Excuse me?" Sam shifted uncomfortably under the intensity of his gaze. His eyes were just woke up puffy, but not bloodshot. She registered this as a good sign, trying to ignore the fact that his eyes were so dark they seemed more black than brown. That information wasn't, strictly speaking, medically relevant.